Hi, I'm U.S. Senator Rob Portman. I'm here in Washington, D.C., but I sure wish I could be with you today for the first meeting of the West Shore Republicans. I want to thank John Hinkle, Bob Bodie, and everybody who's assisted in getting this organization off the ground. I also want to thank Kevin O'Brien for coming today. He's a terrific advocate for us. He writes from the right, and we need him. But it's groups like this club and others around the state that are really the backbone of the Republican grassroots efforts in Ohio. It's a growing movement. I was in Columbus recently, and I think there are over 20 clubs now in the Columbus area. We've got a bunch down in my Cincinnati area too. But it's really key to get people engaged in our communities to focus on how do we win. We got to have a conservative victory in the next election for a lot of reasons. In 2010, the campaign I ran was focused on grassroots. We were in all 88 counties around the state, including spending a lot of time in the West Shore area. And it paid off. At the heart of any campaign are local community activists who are connecting door to door, neighbor to neighbor, people to people. That's what really matters in politics, in my view. And we're involved in the fight because we care. The folks who are here tonight care. You care about having a safer community, having a better state, having economic opportunities for your kids and grandkids, ensuring that the country we love continues to stand strong. I ran for the United States Senate because I'm concerned about our country. I think we're in trouble. I think the fiscal policy is a disaster. The debt and deficit's at record level. I think the economy is way too weak to create the kind of prosperity that we've all grown accustomed to and that is sort of the American dream. I think we're losing it. I really do. And I'm now working on the national level on those issues. What you're doing at the local level is incredibly important. And I thank you for that. And thank you for helping me and helping John Kasich and helping so many other Republicans, Dave Joyce and others, for those of you who are involved in that campaign. I'm also real involved in the National Republican Senatorial Committee. I'm involved because I believe strongly that we need a Republican majority in the Senate to be able to really take back our country, not just take back the Senate, but begin to, again, move on these important issues that for too long have not been addressed. Things like ensuring that we do repeal Obamacare, because I think it's hurting the economy badly. I also think it's terrible health care policy. It's got to be ended. Balancing our budget, it's about time that we deal with that. It's gotten so out of whack now that it's going to take a while. Therefore, we need to get started. We need to rein in costly regulations. When I'm around Northeast Ohio, whether it's at a factory or whether I'm talking to people who are trying to get by in the healthcare area with all the new costly regulations, or financial services area, what I hear about is that these regulations are really hurting jobs and hurting working families. At the same time, we got to make sure that we keep Republicans in charge in Ohio. John Kasich and the team and our state legislatures done what they had to do, close the balance, close the big deficit, not with raising taxes, but with cutting spending and actually putting some tax reform in place to help make our state a better place to do business. That's the future for Ohio, and what you're doing to help on that is incredibly important. Our state's economic recovery is going to depend on whether we can indeed continue to elect Republicans. Turning our country around won't be easy. But I can promise you that the fight continues here on Capitol Hill. Even today, we're talking about ways in which we could get legislation to try to repeal, defund, delay Obamacare. We're going to continue the fight, and we're going to continue the fight for fiscal sanity. We have a fight right now over the spending levels, for instance. And you'll see Republicans standing up and saying, we've got to keep the gains that we've made over the last couple of years and be sure that we don't continue to spend more. But we've got to also encourage more reform on the part of the budget we haven't touched yet. You also hear us talk about the need for us to reform our regulations, as I said earlier. That's something that I continue to fight on, as well as tax reform. That would give our economy a shot in the arm. We've got a pro-growth agenda. It's a pretty clear agenda because it's what's made America great over 200 years. And the problem we have right now is we have an administration that wants to take us not toward a smaller, more efficient government that stays true to our values, but instead one that grows the size and the scope of government, making it harder to get our economic house in order and to get this economy moving again so that people in Ohio can have good jobs, good benefits, we can get back on track. Thank you again for what you have done already. We couldn't possibly accomplish what we have accomplished without your help, and we're not going to be able to do anything in the future without the kind of grassroots help that we see with this club tonight. So thanks a lot. Best to Kevin O'Brien. And also George Brown, if you're there, I hope you're representing me well, my friend. Godspeed to everybody for what you've already done with the West Shore Republicans and what you will do going forward. I look forward to seeing you soon up in Northeast Ohio.